the three words which I think capture Jack Danforth so well would be integrity, selflessness, and grace. And in terms of him bringing people together, the massacre at Waco and the Branch Davidian compound was a crisis that could have turned into a catastrophe. And just when America needed someone, Jack Danforth provided that to the American people.
The times when he was in the Senate, he showed that it's best to work with people who may have different views on various issues and see, what you can accomplish. He did that consistently. And, my recollection from those days is some of his best friends in the Senate were Democrats, and they liked each other, they worked together, they disagreed, but they worked things out.
After Jack's career as an elected official ended, he was appointed to multiple presidential administrations to continue bringing people together at a larger scale across the globe.
He was such an example of someone who worked with Democrats, like, of course, his great friend Tom Eagleton, and he was not rigid, and just pushing one agenda. He could compromise and reach good results for everybody. And one thing he did that I did with him was when I was U.S. Attorney, he wanted a hate crimes task force. What can we do about hate crimes? And we kind of surprised ourselves by getting a bill passed through the Missouri legislature and signed by the governor to protect people regardless of their sexual outlook.
Jack's writings over the past decades has continued to emphasize how we need cultural and structural changes to reform American politics, to do, as he says, reconstitute the political center, to make it so that people have to compromise, work together, and find common ground. Politics is supposed to be the art of the possible.
Well, as we all know, the Danforths have been around for quite a long time, and Jack continues to be a life supporter of not only St. Louis, but our state as well.
Every level of his engagement, whether national, state, or local, Jack calls people to see the other side not as evil, but just as wrong. And that distinction is absolutely essential if we're going to hold together the American experiment. Jack's been doing that his whole life, and he's modeled it well for everyone around him.
Jack just had and still has this ability to be kind of the bright, shining light. And truly was the bright, shining light for a generation in Missouri politics. That's the way I think of Jack.
If he's with you all the way. He is consistently him, which I think is super important because in a world where inclusion is such an important thing, you want to make sure that people get to be themselves. And Jack always shows up that way, which also makes room for other people to do.
He has an innate intellectual curiosity, not driven by an agenda, but to do the right thing.
Always his priority was to come home and be around for his family when he could. Home for family dinner was key, and just there and around for important and unimportant moments.
He has the virtues of what you want your children to have and your leaders and future leaders. I just hope that Jack Danforth will have a venue to speak from, and I'm sure everybody wants to talk to him still. So I hope he will be more vocal than ever in the years to come because we really need him.
We need to keep bringing people together across the political spectrum to support more campaigns, more reforms, more efforts to bring people together across partisan divides to solve the underlying structural problems that are preventing us from having a government of, by, and for the people.
Jack, I'm glad to see a person of your stature getting involved in these issues because we're on the same wavelength, and we're going to have to continue that. So again, Jack, thank you very much for taking the lead.
Dad, congratulations. I'm so proud to be your daughter. And I love honoring you with a lifetime achievement. It just makes all of your children and your family members so proud to be yours. And we love you so much.